Hi, today I'm going to show you how to connect Arduino Uno or Mega with PC using a USB and a particular type of communication standard, the ModBus protocol. This will permit us to use Arduino and PC like a PLC, certainly without industrial standard, but with acceptable performance for didactic use. We just need some software, the Arduino IDE in order to program Arduino, QModBus in order to test the functionality of communication, free Codesys in order to have software for programming PLC free of charge. You can find the link for software in the description. Now we need to set digital input, output, analog input, and analog output, and to set communication between Arduino and PC. We have just to load this sketch and remember that in a Modbus communication we have one master and one or more slave. Master send a request signal for slave on bus and the slave answer sending data to master. So Arduino is a slave and PC in this case is like a master. So go on and here we have to define both. So the speed of communication, and then we have to define ID, so the ID for communication with Arduino. So we don't have to change it, never. And to define number coils, number discrete inputs, number holding register, number input register. These are the number of digital output, input, analog output, and input we have to use. And here we have the number of the pin where we have that. So we have in 9 and 4 two digital output, typical LED with a 330 ohm resistor. We also have digital input, typical button pull down, and then we have an analog output and analog input. And then we can find the possible value we can use here in this step. So we can't use pin 0 and pin 1 that are dedicated to serial communication. We can't use pin 13 because we can have some problem due to built-in LED, and at 0 and A1 can be used also has analog input or for digital input or output. And that's all. Let's go and try it with code QModBus. So let's try it to Arduino with QModBus. So we have two digital out. This is 9, this is 4. We have two digital input. This is 12, this is 8. We have also two analog output. This is pin 5, this is pin 3. And then we have two analog inputs. So here, up, we have A0 and A1. A0 and A1. And here is a partition. Tension partition with 5 resistor equal. And so now two button with pull down system. So now going to test it. We open QModBus. We see that we have here COM3 and here COM3 and both baud rate. That's it. Okay. And then slave ID that have to be equal to that. And now for first we are going to read discrete inputs. So we are going to read discrete inputs. So send it and we obtain 0. If I press that, I obtain 1. Okay. So we can also read multiple discrete inputs. Sample going to turn that to 2. So now we have got it. Okay, and both, yeah. Then we can write coil. So we have write single coil to 0 and data 1. Okay, it's turn on. And also we can turn on the other. So here data 1. Okay, and but we can also write multiple coils. Okay, so here 0 0 and turn write multiple coils. Okay, from 0 and the number of coils 2. Okay, and so now that's all off, or that, or that, or that, or that. Simple. And then we are going to write single register. So write single register and put it to 255 maximum brilliant, maximum brightness. And now 1 ho ho, yeah, and then 1 ho, yeah, and then turn off again. And we can also write multiple register. Write multiple register from 0 to number of data, and we can put it 255, 255, yeah, or 255 and 1 ho ho. Okay, and 10, and we can see more or less brilliant. So put it to 0. Okay, okay. And now check for read input register. So we can go to read input register and going to see the two register. So one is 0 because we have it to 0, and one is 513 because here is here. But if we can move it to hit here, we have 1023, 1023, and we can move it again in example here, and we have got it, and also here, and we have got it. So we can read multiple register in this way, and now we have only two dialog Arduino with Codesys. Okay, so now we want to do the two tasks. Task 1, use two button in a set reset mode for control red LED. And task 2, read from analog input the value from 0 to 1023 to convert it to value 0 to 155 and write it to blue LED. So go on. First things, we need to open Codesys, and now new project, and also white. The white is good. And now we have to add here PO hue and this PLC control and Win V3X64. Add it. That's all. Okay, now we have to do a new POU, okay, like program and letter. And so we have to set PB1 Pushbuttton 1 and PB2 Pushbuttton 2, and then delete LAD, and then PWM LED. Okay, and also A0 input analog. Okay, and that output analog. This is just a comment, and here we go. So let's do a set reset for PB with PB1 and PB2 with LED, and that's common structure in LED language. So that, and yes, and we had that gate and the yes, coils. So LED, and that is Pushbuttton 2 for set, and Pushbuttton 1 for set. And then we have to add here the retain, and so here yes, okay, and here let. So the first part is okay, and we have to test it, but how to do it? If here I do simulation, I have no problem and I can simulate all. Okay, yes. Yes, the problem is it. So we need also that task configuration. And here we have to declare our program, POU, and then the time, the cycle time of that program. So go on and say it. It's just simulation. Okay, so we've got necessarily to start it. And then we can prove that. Control F7, that is that right value. Okay, and Control F7. Okay, set and reset. Okay, now we want to simulate it not on a simulation PLC, but on a real PLC. So we need to Codesys gateway and start it here, and we can see it here. Okay, and then we have got to Codesys control win v3, that's it, and also control win v3 size 3, and that's it. And we need to start PLC. Okay, okay, so now login. Okay, and he requests for us ID name and password, admin like, and let's go here and see it. So okay, login, yes, okay, and then PB1, okay, that's all. We just need to add Arduino. How to do it? So with right click, we have to add ModBus. that. And then we need to add the ModBus master. So okay, that not here, and okay, ModBus master here. And then we also need to add here, right click, add slave ModBus here. Okay. And now comport. Comport is the same of Arduino. So if we have free, and is the same that we can find here. So the same here, come free and port come free. Both here. No? Okay. And then we have got to configure ModBus master, and that's okay. Master is PC, and slave ModBus, that is Arduino. So now we have to set up the channel. So here we have the core parts. So add channel, and we have to read discrete inputs, 2 inputs, and then write multiple coils. So write digital output, and we have 2 digital output. So we have to read analog input. So read input register, and we have also 2, and then we have to write register, write multiple register, 2. Okay, so here we have the time for cycle, and if we have more time here, we have slow Arduino and communication, but if we have it very around 20 milliseconds is the perfect balance. So then we have to set here, and if it can visualize, it's just do something like 1, 2, and it turn back all good. And then we have Pushbuttton 1 here, POU, PB1, and here PB2, and then here is write coils, so write the digital LED, so this, and then we have to read input, so A0, and here we have to expand it and take that. It's the first input register, and that's the second. So here, and A0, and here we have write multiple register, so the PWM LED. So see here, okay. Double click here, PWM LED. Okay. Here we go. So log in. Okay. And then we check that here. Okay. Okay. And that's okay. So yes, we have that error. PWM LED is not a boolean, but is an int. We have not also 0 and 1 value, but we have a continuous value. So int is the right variable. Okay. Okay, play it. Okay. Let's see it. It's good. Okay. Now we just want to put PWM task 2 is to put to read from an analog input the value and convert and write it to PWM output. So it's not hard to do. We had here down, and then we have call output, and then variable input, and yes, module here, and then here we have got to multiplicate, to divide it by 4. A, B, C, if. Okay. 4, and the A0 value. And now we have to put it on PWM LED. So here, and then here, PWM LED. Here we go. Okay. Going to see it. No, no, no. Because we have got to start it. Okay. And we have 0, and then 25.2, and that's it. Okay. So now one last very important things. Here, sometimes when we do login, we don't have here and do start. We don't have here that green cycle, and it is due to a problem, and you can solve it by doing first a cold reset, and that's okay, and then restart it, or do a origin reset, and then unmount and restart. This is very, very important. Okay, that's all. Goodbye.